The Long Walk is from Francis Lawrence, director of Constantine, I Am Legend, and all of the Hunger Games movies from 2 onward. Written by J.T. Molnar, the mind behind Strange Darling, based on the book by Stephen King. Richard Bachman. Damn, King trying to steal the credit from him. He's doing the same with The Running Man, too. But jokes aside, it's about a dystopian America where the government hosts a little televised game for its destitute civilians. A group of young men walk non-stop across the country. If any of them stop or fall below a certain speed, they put a bullet in his head. The last one standing wins a lot of money. That concept and its director make it sound like a Hunger Games ripoff, but it's far from that. It has no interest in action or teen drama or any of that. It's a bunch of people walking until they can't walk anymore, and the tension of who will actually stop is almost unbearable. It's brutal, not just from the violent executions, although those are definitely gruesome, more than what you'd expect from a movie where violence is seemingly limited to people getting shot, but also from just watching these people suffer. People have said that Stephen King, yes, jokes aside, he is Richard Bachman, is so effective because of his attention to characters. Well, that's on display here. So many of these characters have rich backstories and are all well acted, making them feel even more real, which adds to the tension as to who will survive, and makes every elimination more emotional, especially near the end when some of the deeper main characters get it. The audience knows from the beginning that only one of them can get out alive, and that just makes it more intense and more tragic. A lot of what makes it great is just seeing how these characters get broken down. At the beginning they start out all happy and smiling and even making friends with each other despite the fact that their friendship is definitely not going to last.
They say you shouldn't make friends on a long walk, but I sort of like you three.
And they even try to help some strangers to not die, so their transformation to the tired, dead-eyed walkers is even more horrifying. This is the best King adaptation of the year so far. Basically each adaptation has been better than the last this year. Let's hope The Running Man, or even the It series, doesn't break that streak. This is a brutal and emotional experience. Walking has never been this tense.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission. You'll find our snack bar chock full of good things to eat and drink. Tasty, tempting hot dogs, thirst-quenching soft drinks, fresh, crunchy popcorn, a complete assortment of delicious candy, and a full line of cigarettes. You've plenty of time, so visit the snack bar now. A tasty treat will double your enjoyment of the show.
There's a bomb on a bus. Once the bus goes 50 miles an hour, the bomb is armed. If it drops below 50, it blows up. What do you do? What do you do?
Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, Sandra Bullock.
Pop quiz. You have a hair trigger aimed at your head. What do you do? What do you do?
Speed. Get ready for rush hour.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle was directed by Haruo Sotozaki and Hikaru Kondo. Kondo also wrote the screenplay based on a story by Koyoharu Gotog, a continuation of the popular anime and the first of a trilogy covering the Infinity Castle arc. The trilogy might be the end of the entire series. It's kind of marketing itself as such, but when I looked it up I saw that there's apparently more to the manga after this, so I don't know what's going on here. This is one that I was unsure if I would see because I'd fallen behind on the anime and had not seen most of the latest season. But I was able to finish that season in the week before and was actually able to see this on opening weekend. And to be honest, that was kind of a weak season that just felt like a prologue to this trilogy. Most of the episodes were just the characters training until a bad guy shows up at the very end as a cliffhanger. Hey, want to see some action? Well, you're gonna have to wait a full year and then pay for a movie ticket. No, scratch that. 3 tickets. But the movie makes up for that by basically being all action. No time to set up anything. That was all done in the last season, and if you didn't see that, you're shit out of luck. It drops us right into the middle of the action and stays in the middle of that action for all of its 2.5-hour runtime, and in the end it doesn't seem like the action is even going to let up anytime soon. The story is basically just a string of long battles with demons with several flashbacks thrown in there. And these fights are as intense as any battle in any anime. The animation is smooth and the energy is fast-paced, and the flashbacks give some added depth to the characters at times, including to some of the bad guys. But that method of storytelling also kind of serves as its downfall in a way. Once again, this is still a fun movie, but its narrative combined with its length does cause it to drag. Once again, it's a string of prolonged fights that has very little setup and no end. Even if I knew that beforehand, I wouldn't think that lack of a narrative would be a problem, but it kind of was. Even with great action, the creeping sense that not much is happening does kind of come in at around the hour mark. Even the similarly paced Mad Max Fury Road still felt like an actual story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And even with the to be continued at the end of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which we will all probably die of old age before that continues, it still feels like a beginning and a middle. And the frequent flashbacks don't help in terms of pacing. It's a very thin story, but it makes up for that with pure spectacle, and even a few of the flashbacks were interesting. The whole thing is just a small part of an actual complete story. This would probably work better if all 3 movies were just a season of TV where at least you get the end of each episode to break things up. Although I don't know whether or not these fights would be as good on a TV budget, and of course this stuff's always better on the big screen, so that's probably worth it. This can be exhausting, and not the most satisfying for those who want an ending or even a particularly interesting cliffhanger, but it does deliver the goods. 2.5 hours of what you came for and nothing else.